If you're a single golfer and you're scared of joining a group, don't be. Come join the group. It's a great bunch of guys. We're normally about 80 guys playing.
It's very easy. Camaraderie, social golf with a lot of competitiveness, fun, live scoring.
With the live scoring, as you go, it actually motivates you to keep pushing more, getting stronger.
You look at, we're playing 33 different courses throughout the year, and where are you going to get that?
For all the multiple individual games, match play games, tour games and the majors.
The majors, it makes you feel like you're really part of the PGA Tour. You got 3-month cycles where you need to qualify.
I always struggle to get 4 guys together to come and play around and golf, join Duckhook, and the invites don't stop.
But I think what sets it apart from the rest of the social stuff out there is, the online content. I think the videos and the interviews and all sorts of things that get done behind the scenes are absolutely brilliant.
And such good reasons to join Duckhook golfers, and our players say it best. That's what I always say. So if you're not convinced yet, soon you will be. Happy Youth Day, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this evening. I've got Donnie with me and Basil with me. Everybody that played golf on your Youth Day, I hope you had a great round. Otherwise, you spent a good time with your family. Basil, looks like you're somewhere else. Where are you for Youth Day?
Yeah, guys, so happy Youth Day, and hope you guys had a good day. I'm fortunately just on the other side of Worcester for the week. I've taken the week off to just relax and get away from the golf. So I'll be fishing and camping for this week, and I'll be quarantining for 7 days. As President Cyril said, social distance, so that's what I'm doing this week.
So why don't you show us where you are? Give us a bit of a tour.
So I don't want to make you guys a little jealous, but this is my view. So yeah, right behind me is the river.
Yeah.
So it's quite pleasant to be out here, and surprisingly the weather's holding out. It's not as cold, surprising. So Joburg, for some reason, is a lot colder than what we are experiencing here for this week, and yeah, the weather looks good for this week. So hopefully we catch some nice fish and some nice downtime with my dad.
Fantastic. Well,
yeah, nice.
I'm sure you'll be sharing all the fishing shots that you have, that you'll get, all the photos. Let me say, that's going to be probably a thing with his connection through that time. Okay, Graham Peters, he's watching. Hello, Graham. Nice to have you on board. I don't know if you've watched before, but yes, welcome to the Duckhook Show, and you'll see what it's all about. Now we just have to get you into the field. Mr. Paul Ricketts, you are right. Basil Wright is in the bush with a river doing some fishing. Hansi Aman had a great round of golf today at White River, shooting 80, getting better and better. Well done to you, Hansi. Shannon Schaefer joins us once again. Never misses a show. Favorite time of the week, the golf show. We apologize for missing last week, but load shedding broke everything. And then Jacques Grahamstein, hello, Ducks. Good to see you're all watching. What's on the show today? Well, we have to go back and look at Kyalami, a review of Series 1. And then we'll move forward and look at Durban series. They had their game, where did they have? At Kloof, and they had Quibus now winning. So we'll quickly look at the results in his interview. Then we go to Benoni. The boys are playing on Thursday. Plenty to play for. It's almost halfway through the series, and it's going to start hotting up. And then we'll look at the Duckhook Open, what's going to happen there, who's qualified, and then we'll quickly chat about the US Open, which is coming up this week. So plenty to go through. But first of all, if you did not know who won at Kyalami, well, let me remind you.
Kevin, you are the winner! At Kyalami. Well done.
Thanks, man.
How are you feeling?
I'm good. Finally won one. First event, yeah, so it's good to have one in the board.
Waiting in the clubhouse lead for quite a while, watching the live scoring. What were you thinking?
I think I was going to get pipped again. I've been pipped twice already, so I wasn't expecting much. But
the Strixon cap as well.
Strixon cap, yeah.
Coming your way.
After 6 years on the Duckhook Tour, 6 years winning on -2.
Into the major?
Yeah, that was my main goal. Yeah, I was trying to get to top 5 today because I was way out of the others. So top 5 would have got me in. So happy with the win.
What was the best part of your game?
I think it was just to find the fairways today. And second iron shots were hitting the green, so it wasn't too bad. Could have been a better score, but missed a few short putts, but happy with what I finished off.
And a very, very popular winner at that. As I had mentioned, it's been 6 years that Kevin has been with us, and finally he takes the trophy. He came a couple of times, he came second. If you did not know, Kevin is a title winner of the Challenge 500 at Rand Park, so he at least got something. But finally, a league victory, boys. It came down right at the end. It was very close. I think the last hole, Frikkie Bana was in it. Hanu had a chance at one point. Basil, you were right there, finishing in the top 4, and Ryan Esmond was also on his par 5 ninth. It could have gone any way.
100%. But I got off to a bit of a slow start in that front nine. I battle on those greens at that course and just clicked the back nine. Given though I hit a few close, I just putted well, so I hit the ball great the whole day, and I was really pushing for my first win. But you know what? Patience, will persevere over, and I'm very stoked for Kevin.
Yes, as you can
get
see.
his first win.
-2, which is a good score. The course was tough. You did mention the greens really separated the boys from the men. Frikkie Bana, nice to see him back in the top 5 position, getting some crucial ranking points. Ryan Esmond and Basil Wright, the plus players, also great to see how the pros are coming to the fore. Hanu Oosthuizen, Ashley Haman coming tied 4th. Kunrad Pretorius tied 7th. Stephen Saunders tied 7th. Clint Bredas tied 7th. Yes, another successful day. Well, what we normally do is we have a look at the scorecard. So let's have a look at Kevin's scorecard. If I'm not mistaken, he started on the 10th, making 16 points on the back nine, moving on to the front nine, and an unbelievable 22 points. And if you see his par run, the first and second getting him 3 points, then a whole host of 2-pointers just to stay within it. And then the 7th and 8th, which is also not the easiest holes, making 3-pointers to get into a clubhouse lead of -2. When I went to speak to him, he was sitting there and he was hoping, please, I hope I don't get pipped. But there were a couple of players on -2 as well. And then it went his way. I wanted to focus on Ryan Esmond here, Donnie. He had a great round, shooting a 69.
Yeah, no, definitely. If we can look at that scorecard, now obviously he started on the back nine, and obviously I think where things turned around was hole number 13, making an eagle there, and then coming back, dropping a silly shot on 16, but then actually finishing good on the 9 with 2 birdies, to shoot 34, and then basically it's like the front 9 is like, if I remember correctly, is like he just had, he started with a birdie and then also eagle on 4, eagle on 4 with the 2 drops other side, to shoot 35. So still, it's a good score. If those drops weren't there, that was like a very low, 64, 65.
And if you didn't know, Ryan has won twice on tour, if I'm not mistaken. Basil, I'm sure the guys want to see your scorecard before we go through the rest of the regular event details.
Yeah, sure. So my front nine was pretty boring. As you can see, I managed 1 birdie, 1 bogey, and the other holes was just 2 putt pars. So the putter was quite cold, the front nine, like I said in the beginning. And after 9, I just turned after halfway and I said, I'm going to be a bit more aggressive on my line choice, and it paid off. So I actually made 1 bogey on the 11th hole where I had 175 into that green, and I hit 8 iron almost onto 12's tee box.
Ooh.
So I don't know how that flew so far. I wasn't sure if it was maybe a little bit of a flyer, but I mean it was out the fairway, so that didn't really add up. But yeah, pretty much the leading birdies to follow that was all 1 putt, excepting the par 5 where I hit it on for 2 and just missed my eagle. And then I had a good shot on the par 3. What was it? The 16th hole. And I made like a 20-foot putt for birdie. That was also a turnaround for me. And then on the 17th hole, I actually hit my driver right and hit a tree. And for some reason, I gained like 50 meters on that, and I was like 58 meters short of that green on 16. So very strange that my ball flew from the trees on the right and still gained that extra 30 meters. And then I hit it close there as well. And then I had a putt on the last for eagle, I think to go, 1 under for the day, but I 2-putt and made birdie there. So very tidy round of golf, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Kyalami is not my most favorite golf course. I'm not sure why, because it's beautiful, it's always in good nick, but nice to come out and shoot a good round at Kyalami.
And yes, Paul, Kevin can win it. Mine is coming soon. We will all,
Go,
I think we're
Paulie.
throwing an absolute party when you win, Paul. Guaranteed. Everybody will be there. It will be a celebration of note. Well, I'm sure many players want to shoot a 68 and 32 on a back nine. So congratulations once again. And I think that puts you right up there in the standings once again. We will get to that. Let's go through the other things, like the pins at Kyalami. John van der Venter taking another par 3 a month after he made his hole-in-one at Jackal Creek. And the par 4 11th was the closest in 2, a nice long par 4. Jan Venter taking the closest in 2 prize. And then Alan Lowe on the par 3 17th, taking his concepts voucher. So he will be joining Donnie for a bit of an experience, whether he wants to play a simulator round or do some fittings. There it is. Alan, it's all yours. We haven't done this in a while, but what was the best team on the day? Well, JP Atwood, Lyle Langley, Adam Ford and Ryan Esmond took the win on minus 14, 130 points. Congratulations to this winning team. It would make sense because at an average, I think those scores are pretty good. Let me just remove Mr. Ricketts from, how do I get rid of this guy? I don't know. We've got to get, bang, he's gone. Okay. Let's go to the groups, Donnie. Take us through the groups. We had 3 of them, Group A, B, and C.
Yeah, so we can see Group A, it's like Billy Hall won the group. It's like +4, beating Hansi, Jock, Allen, and Curvis. On Group B, obviously the winner, he'll take it any day. Pipping Paul, Alistair, Pranay, and Nicky. And then obviously Group C, Fricky, taking the win there over Ryan, Barry, Yaku, and Maz.
It's nice to put these together and see the top guys coming through in the groups. That means we're guesstimating pretty well. If we were betting people, we might make some money out of it. But, the moment you do that, then they all come last. Let's have a look at the head-to-heads and the teams. The red team versus the blue team. Yes, the red team had a good day out at Kyalami with Captain Peter Zakario taking his team to victory. Donnie, unfortunately not for you so much. But at least you won your game. So let's quickly go through it. We'll stick to the red team as they won. Peter losing to Donnie. Wayne Jensen had a tight affair with Dorian, also both playing very average golf. Ronnie Willett struggling off his new handicap, but winning against Cole van der Linde. Paul Ricketts taking it over Fat. Stephen Saunders taking it over Leon Oosthuizen and Ryan Esmond, beating Vickers Lee. Mornay going down to Sorrel Stain. That's actually a pretty good round from Sorrel Stain. Rahel Chetty, another steady round at +3 over Shannon Schaefer. Grantnell +16, long day for him, even though he had a practice round. He's got to make use of those practice rounds at Kyalami. Graham de Villiers +10, and then Nico Roots having a good game, taking it the final point for the red team. So what does this all mean, gentlemen? Where are the standing, shall we say? Randall Chetty leads by 3 points over Pranay Pandy, who is now still second. Basil, look at that. I said you had moved up in the field, and you are in the top 3. So you got plenty to focus. Graham de Villiers moves down from 3rd to 4th. Ashley Herman with another top 10 finish moves to tied 5th, with Hanu tied 5th. Donnie, you're up there at 7th on 171. It's quite far back. I'll get your comments on that now. Ryan Esmond moves into the top 10. Billy Hall moves into the top 10. Gents, at this halfway stage, let me get your opinion. How many is too many points to catch Randall? 10?
Randall is just too steady, man. It always comes down to that last round of golf. I mean, I don't know. Randall has to have a seriously bad halfway, the second half of the season to not follow through,
but Baz, there is a little bit of a twist. He is moving down to Durban.
That is correct.
So yet again,
in that case, nah.
But gents, before we get carried away, he's coming back for Series 1 because he wants to win Series 1. So he'll be here for Series 1. So we still got to work very, very hard to beat him.
No, true. But that's going to be a tough ask. Obviously working 5 days, maybe coming up on a Saturday, playing golf. So, we all know he's consistent and he's a very good golfer. But I think that might play a factor going forward.
What I can say is hopefully the Durban greens break him So when he comes back to
Exactly what I
Joburg,
was just about to say. I definitely think change of turf would change your game. You know, Durban golf, Cape Town golf changes your golf swing. You know?
He needs to hit the ball lower there, so you know his approach angles will be a little bit flatter on the Joburg greens. So
as much as we're criticizing him, I think he's definitely going to adapt himself.
he might come back a better player because he needs more skill in Durban. He might come back even better.
Better ball striker. Yeah.
Let's round off Kyalami. I got the chance to speak to the top 5, excluding Basil, because Basil's with us. This is what the top 5 on the day had to say after their round.
Had a decent round with the guys. Must be honest, it went well in the front 9. Back 9 got me a bit, but the end of the day strongly. Always nice to par the 18th at Kyalami.
Well, that's not supposed to happen. I promise you. I did watch this before we started. I'm not going to pick it up. We'll just move on. But Hanu was one of the guys I spoke to, and Hanu, a couple of putts that went missing, but he plays well at Kyalami. In the 3 times that he's played there, he's almost won them. So a track definitely for Hanu. He's got like a love-hate relationship. He loves it when he's playing. When he walks off, he hates it. Yes. Randall is watching. Thanks for watching, Randall. Definitely playing Series 1. He wants to win Series 1, so we're going to have to, like I said, work very hard.
Coming for you, Randall. I'm coming for you, bud.
Gents, that is the end of Kyalami. I quickly want to jump through to the Durban League as I search for the results, because the Durban League played this past Sunday and Qualifiers took the title. Now, for those of us who have played in Durban, Qualifiers won the first inaugural game in Durban last year. So this is how it finished, on even par, once again showing how difficult Durban is. They were saying that the greens were very, very tough. But Andrew Brighton in second, Andrew Castles in third, Hayden Stone fourth. 3 guys tied for fifth at +7. Look at these scores, boys. +7 for fifth. That's hectic.
Yeah.
8th,
That is
+8.
incredible.
The top 10 is
The win must have
+11.
been blown.
What a day. Tian, if you're watching, let us know on the chat line exactly what happened there. Mentioning Tian caught up with Qualifiers, and this is what Qualifiers had to say.
We here with the winner of the 6th Durban League win at the Kloof Country Club with Qualifiers now. Qualifiers, quickly go through your round, explain to us how the greens was and how you played.
Okay, yeah, thanks. I'm super chuffed. I've had a very, very, very tough time the last almost 12 months of golf playing. Almost given up. I've almost given up. I thought today I'll come out here and just be myself and just enjoy with my good mates as usual. And yes, I found something. The greens were exceptionally well. It was fast. You couldn't go for the putts. You had to really think for every putt, and nothing was just straightforward today. I think it was reflected in the scores as well. Some of the guys really struggled. We had fantastic weather, and I'm just super chuffed to be a winner again after such a long time. And yeah, I just hope that we can go from strength to strength in a Durban League.
So well done, Qualifiers. Let me tell you a little bit of a story. The last time I played with Qualifiers was at Kloof, and Ryan Jensen was in my 4-ball, and coming off a hot tip from Basil, Ryan had hit the form of his absolute life. And then we played our match play game with Qualifiers in the 4-ball. We were playing against them, and Ryan, off a, I don't know, it must have been an 11 or 12, could not put a foot wrong. Qualifiers was not happy. He was not happy. He was like, who is this ringer that you bring from Joburg? How can this guy be a 12 handicap? And Ryan just kept going bang, 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 and eventually took the title down in Kloof. So revenge on, I wouldn't say Ryan, but at least revenge on Kloof.
On the course.
So well done, Qualifiers. Paul Ricketts says that he actually played with him on the first event. So good memory there, old Paulie. And then I just want to jump back to Randall. What did Randall say? Challenge accepted, Basil. That's what Randall says. Challenge accepted. So he's ready for you and waiting. Where do we go now, boys? Yeah, you want to say something, Basil?
Sorry, Randall, we need to try and get a Thursday game together, right? I'll wait for your call. I'm waiting for your message. We'll play together.
Have you two played together before?
We played Danefern, and
oh yes, I remember.
He was very impressed. He was very impressed the way I played. I shot like I think it was 70, 71, and I actually went to him. I'm like, but that was the worst round of golf I've had in my life. He's like, look at this guy. You shoot 70 and you're not happy.
Great.
But yes, we will play. We will play.
We're going to move on, and we're going to go on to Benoni now. But let's just remind us that Strixon, who are our sponsors, will sponsor the league or series winners a year's supply of golf balls. Is this the ball that you want to claim? Much to look forward to. Before we dive into what's happening at Benoni, let's have a look at how the standings stand. Simon Mayer and Andre Kotz are tied on 138 points. Donnie, there you are on third. Richard Stewart is right up there, tied fourth with Bobby van der Spey after Bobby's victory at Pretoria Country Club. Carl van der Meulen in sixth. I've dropped down from, I think, fifth to seventh. Frikkie stays at eighth. Kevin Ho stays tied at 8th, and then Jacques Ravenstein comes into the top 10 in tied 8th, 131 points. Much closer series this. There's only in the top 10, only 7 points separates the boys. A lot of work to do, and as I want to say, Donnie, we played Benoni 10 days ago. It was tough. The greens are tough, boys. It's more wintry conditions. The ball is running, but holding the green was tough. What was your take on it?
Well, you'll know I didn't play them as you guys played the Friday, so I was grafting.
I'm sorry.
But obviously, falsy for you. But obviously, as a junior, I played a few rounds of golf there, and what I can say to the guys is you're going to have such awkward lies if you just run off the fairways and it's catching some hard pan spots. So yeah, good luck. I think the course conditions will be tough. So unfortunate that I can't play tomorrow, but guys must enjoy it. Nice bright and early start, and it's going to be cold.
And as you can see, it's a course that starts with a par 5. The 9th is a par 5, then starts with a par 5 on the 10th, and then there's the 18th, which is a par 5, which is a beautiful par 5 on the 18th. It really runs around a water feature, lake, river, dam thing. But a long course, it's 6,392 meters. Basil, I'm sure you've played here.
Yes, I've actually had quite a few qualifiers there and junior tournaments and amateur events there. And my past experiences, of playing Benoni is that it's not the longest golf course. If you can keep your ball in play, and also just a little tip, what I've noticed with the grass around the greens is that don't be scared to use less loft. It's not always just a lob wedge around the greens. Have a bit of versatility. Use your sand wedge. Use your gap wedge. The greens are always good there. So not to worry about if the ball's going to bite or not. So don't be scared to get the ball running there, you know. So, and yeah, just enjoy it. Hit the ball where you see fairway, guys. It's not a long golf course. The winter conditions are also going to play. As much as you want your ball to roll, just find your accuracy. Try and, even if you hit 3 woods or, you know, your long irons off the tee, you know, just keep your ball in play, and long is dead on most of those holes. So if you're going to set yourself up for your approach shots, just middle green, front green is good. Unless it's backpin, say your middle yardage. You don't need to be too aggressive in terms of going long.
Boys, if you have any questions for us, please pop them down there about Thursday. Frikkie Barnard will be captaining the ship tomorrow. We have our reasons. I'm sure that you will know from our groups what the reasons are, but I'm not going to go into too much detail. Let's just say we're being responsible. And that is the main point of the exercise.
Papa Frikkie het gepraat.
Papa Frikkie. So good luck to everybody playing tomorrow. Let's have a look at the field quickly. There has been 1 or 2 changes subsequently since I've done this. The first tee, Darian Fourie, Peter Prinsloo, Aldo Fourie, and Jamie Sherry are taking the field off. And good luck to Aldo Fourie, expecting his first child, maybe tomorrow. Maybe he wins, rushes to hospital, and there he can give the trophy to his new baby. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. Frikkie Barnard will be second off. I'm not going to go through everybody, but there's some good form going on here and handicaps that, you know, are going to favour some of these players. I still think Russell Tand is due a victory eventually. I think Peter Prinsloo also needs to find a bit of form, and he can take it. Then we never not look at Jason Owens playing off of 5, because he also just needs to come right. I don't know if there's anybody on this page, boys, that you want to shout out as well.
Richard Stewart, I think he's also due.
He's off for 7. It's going to be a lot of work, I think. Let's go to the 10th tee. Yes, go.
Chaps, can I just throw Kevin Ho in the deep end? I think he can back to back, boy.
You think? Okay, Kevin.
Come on, Kev.
Come on, boy. Let's see if you can make Basil's comments come true. Then we go into the 10th tee. If we have a look at it, one of the bigger differences is Shannon Schaefer's DHG is a 16 and Isoga is 11. So also struggling in the tournaments. Randall Chetty will be low. He was just added today, so his handicap hasn't reflected yet. But yes, please have a look at your times and make sure you know when you're teeing off. Let's move on to the pins for tomorrow. The par 3 third will be your first par 3 for the Strix and Balls. Then the par 3 12th will be the EMS fitness voucher, and the par 4 16th will be the closest in 2. Not a very long hole, the par 4 16th. Just have to find the fairway and shoot it at the flag. The flag, depending on where the flag is, it is a bit of a tricky shaped green. So we'll see who comes out on top. Let's have a look at the groups. These are the groups for only 2 groups. Steve?
Well, we can see Dorian is in Group A, Lyle. Unfortunately, Leon won't be playing tomorrow. Peter Prinsloo and Bertus Badenhorst. And then on Group B, we've got Mark, Borrachero, Henry Hall, Ruben Swart, Tim Garner. And unfortunately, like I said earlier, I won't be playing. So 2 groups of 4 is going to make it interesting. Tight.
Very, very tight. Let me come up with this. Here's a comment from Benita. In case you're wondering about the baby noises, this is Kyalami enjoying watching a show. He's actively commenting on the show. I wonder what he's commenting on. Hi,
that's
Dad.
My boy.
That's your boy. And then Ryan Jens says, yes, agree with Basil. Come on, Kevin. No pressure. And then this was the change today. Kero and Gerard Maritz are going off ahead of the field because Kero is desperate to play, but he needs to be out of there latest 11 o'clock. So they're going to take them off. Right. Let's move on. Take that off and let's have a look at the teams for Benoni quickly. Here we go. The head-to-head. Carl van der Meulen is going to be the captain, and he's going to captain over Saul Steyn, Oki Brits, Alistair, Tim Grant-Nell, Andre Carter, Ruben Stewart. Oh, Ruben, sorry. You're not there. Billy Hall, Gerard. And Nathan is making his first start. There's 1 or 2 guys here that will not be playing, but good luck in the head-to-heads. Right. What is next? Well, there's a matter of 1 series has had the qualifiers go through to the Duckhook Open, which will be taking place on the 2nd of July at the very difficult Ibotsi Links. Before I show you who these 14 are, let's remind you what Ibotsi Links is all about.
Describe Ibotsi in one sentence. Very tricky and intimidating.
Awesome, love it. Links, inland links.
OMG. Difficult, but beautiful.
Toughest golf course I've ever played, but enjoyable.
Difficult. One word, difficult.
Tricky. Yeah, Ibotsi it can be a mixed bag.
Love. I've got a love for links golf.
Ibotsi is nog altyd een van my bane wat ek nog altyd wou speel, nooit die geleentheid gehad nie. Ek het om die begin van die jaar met Duckhook vir die eerste keer gespeel en ek moet sê ek sien baie uit na dit. Dit is regtig een van die lekker bane vir my.
My previous memory was a 10 on a par 3, so hopefully I can redeem myself today.
It's a beautiful course, but it looks a bit difficult. Haven't played here too often, so let's see how it goes.
Hit it straight.
The Open. The Ibotsi is the Open for me. It's similar as, and I'm playing it very nicely similar as Island Gate and every other links course. I love this course, and yeah,
Ibotsi is quite tough if the wind goes, but if you keep it straight.
No, look, I think Ibotsi is nice because it's a thinking course. You know, you don't need to go long, you need to play clever.
Scary. So I don't know how many balls I'm going to lose.
Challenging. So that's one word for it. You don't even need a sentence. So.
Perfect for the Duckhook Open. Links golf, really tough rough.
A lekker course if you keep it in the fairway.
Hard. Tough. Yeah.
Well, keep on the short stuff. I mean, keep on the short stuff and bring enough balls. But I mean, the greens are beautiful, rolling true, and always a pleasure to play here.
Oh no, immaculate. I mean, it's typical links kind of a course. Tough, running a lot. Greens are good.
Yes, the boys have it all to say there. That condition medal is very, very tough. But we love it. We love it. And I hope most of these guys that you saw will be in the field for the Duckhook Open. Let's have a look who definitely isn't in the field. Dani Geldernes is definitely in the field as Series 1 champion. Flicky Barnard goes into this pool as a 2020 player of the season. Billy Hall, the Summer Cup champion, will get his major entries until he defends his title at Glendower at the end of the year at the last event of the season. Leon Duplessis winning at Jackal Creek is in. Kevin Ho winning at Kyalami is also in. Ryan Esmond's into the top 14. Barry Fenter, there you are. JP Atwood, Grant Nell, Hanua stays and Clint Bredis, Stephen Saunders, Jaco Jacobs and Cornell Erasmus are all definitely in the Open. So, plenty to look forward to. After Thursday's round tomorrow, we will know who the Thursday qualifiers are, and then it's just a matter of Reading on the 27th of June, which we've already got a pumping field. I'm glad we're starting at 11, so we don't have to stress too much about getting in, and there'll be a lot of players eager to compete at Reading to get that final spot. And if you're wondering, 14 times 3 is 42, therefore there's 2 spots available. And this time around, it might go to some wildcard players who really deserve to be there. So, fingers crossed to see what happens. Boys, before we wrap it up, I just want to quickly go through the US Open, which takes place this week. What are our thoughts at Torrey Pines in San Diego, in California? It's rated as one of the most difficult courses and one of the most difficult courses fairways to hit, like top 10 in the country. And I saw a post earlier from, who was it? Ian Poulter, where the ball had gone into the rough on the green side and it was gone. So it's going to be incredibly difficult. Who are our picks, gentlemen? Who are our picks?
Well, Matt, just before we can go to the picks, sorry guys. So I actually had a look at a little bit of statistics for the course and everything. So last year they had a normal PGA event there. Yep. And the scoring average for the tournament was 72.53. So that is crazy if you think about it. Then the scoring average at the last major that was held there was in 2008. The stroke average for the tournament was 73.8. So just going on that, I don't think it's going to be high scores winning. Definitely not. And also, it's like I think we're going to see some of these top players struggle in that rough as well, which is already good. And then the interesting thing, the two easiest holes that I had a look at is obviously par 5s. It's hole number 18 and 14 with a score average of 4.18 and 4.37. So here's the guess. What is the most difficult hole on the course? You guys got any ideas?
Drop it down in the comment line and who you think is going to take it or who you're wondering is going to take it. Basil, have you played Torrey Pines?
So I've never been there, Maz. I've never been to the States, but if ever I do, I will have a fast. I'll have 18 holes there. But yeah, in terms of who I'm going to pick, the two guys, one being Phil Mickelson. I think he will complete his Grand Slam, and he's finished second a lot in this event, so hopefully he can close it off. And then I've got my youngster and fellow competitor Garrick Hugo, who won last week at the PGA Tour.
You think he's going to carry on?
There's high expectations for the youngster, but he's got 3 years on the PGA Tour. As narrow as those fairways are, he's going there with open shoulders, and he's not going to hold back. So, and last week was a big testimony for him that he can beat the best in the world.
Ruben says Jordan Spieth. What do you think of Jordan Spieth? And in the same breath, Paul Rickett says Rory McIlroy. What do you think of Rory?
So Jordan Spieth, I don't think he's got the length for that golf course. I don't think he's got the mental distance, driving distance for this event itself and for that golf course. So Rory putts well. He's always content. But I don't feel like he's sparking this year, even with his win. Colin Morikawa is always a top pick for me, I feel. But I'm going to stick with Garrick Hugo and Phil Mickelson, just based on the positions that these gentlemen are on. And given Phil Mickelson being 28 years older and highly experienced. And so I'm going for the experience and for the new PGA champion.
Let's quickly look at some facts and info. The course opened in 1957. It's the second time it's staged at Torrey Pines. It's a par 71, 35 front and 36 back. It's one of the longest courses. Prize purse of 12.5 million. Defending champion Bryson DeChambeau. And if we look at the past champions, 2020 Bryson DeChambeau, 2019 Gary Woodland, 2018 Brooks Koepka, going back to back. Obviously this is not on the same golf course. 2016 Dustin Johnson, 2015 Jordan Spieth. Let's just touch on Bryson DeChambeau. What do you think about him? How's his form coming into it?
I don't want to talk about this, Oak. So I'm going to take a bit of wind out of his sail that he's no longer a longest man on the PGA Tour. Okay. Our fellow South African Volko Nienaber has just pushed him off of that pedestal.
Which is awesome.
Good luck to Bryson. Working harder to be yet again the longest. But men that are competing. Louis Oosthuizen. Yeah, he's been playing nicely.
Is he long enough?
Especially, yeah, he's long enough. He's a good ball striker. If you compare Louis Oosthuizen and Jordan Spieth, Spieth doesn't have the ball striking that Louis got, so. And the wind can pick up there, and Louis Oosthuizen coming from the Cape, I think he'll be a better pick,
What do you guys think of Xander Schauffele? I've seen a lot on the news that they rate him as the favourite to win this.
Potentially. Bit of an undercard, but whoever's willing to chop out, getting rough, chopping out to a specific number and making, grinding out the pars. It's whoever wants it the most. So I still feel it's the guy who's not going to leave anything behind, And the unfortunate part about Brighton is that's his mentality of late, And the long hitters are always up there, but you got to putt, you got to show up, you got to hit shots, you got to be willing to take risks. That's where Phil Mickelson is hot in terms of his game and your short game. So the all-round game is to be fearless, aggressive, and leave nothing behind in that week.
I must say, Baz, just to comment also on Phil there, I also read, on one of the golf sites that he's been there for over a week already. That he's been playing the course, practicing, prepping, because this is obviously one of the majors he hasn't won yet. So he's really looking hard to get that.
If I can just add to that, Phil Mickelson was battling to play at Augusta National, and his coach at the time said, you know what, let's go a week prior, and we go. They don't hit off the tee or the fairways. We go to every single spot possible that you can have around the greens, and we work on every single shot. And he went on to win that year. So the experience and the wisdom he has in this game, I'm sure his preparations will pull through. And I really hope for his sake. He's second to Tiger Woods as the ultimate PGA professional in my eyes. He's done well. He's a people's person. He gives back. Charitable, and just a phenomenal golfer. And I really, really, out of everybody that's playing this week, I really hope he can pull it off. And he's made serious changes, guys. People don't know what he's done behind closed doors. In terms of mentally preparing himself, especially being 50 years old, and keeping up with these youngsters. So my heart goes out to this oak. I really, if he can lift this trophy, it will be icing on the cake for his career.
All right, boys. I've got 3 things to say to wrap it all up. 1, let's wrap it up before Basil's data runs out at the side of the river. Right. 2, Jamie Sherry says Brooks Koepka, and I think that is always a chance for Brooks to come in there, especially after the way he played the last major. And then 3, you will not believe this, and I think it's a good point to finish the show on. Golf Champs, we know where you select your players, the 4 to compete against the rest of us. Well, I went on and I chose, Donnie, correct me if I'm wrong, I chose Xander Schauffele.
Yep.
Phil Mickelson.
Louis Westhuizen.
And
Gary
Woodland. And then then when I saw Donnie the next day, I said, Donnie, what are your picks? And he said, oh, what are yours, Max? And I said, Schauffele, Woodland, Mickelson, and Oosthuizen. And Donnie said, me too. Can you believe it? We chose exactly the same players. Out of all of those players, all 130 of them, we chose exactly it. So at least the 2 of us will be tied and all on the same points, regardless of what happens.
Yeah, that's true.
I haven't made my picks yet, so I'm still doing my homework. I've got 2 guys. I'm still looking for another 2 to complete.
Do it. And if you want to join the Duckhook pool, let us know. If you haven't seen the code yet, send me a message. I'll send you the code. Boys, thank you for watching.
Mas,
yes.
Sorry, last thing.
Go.
Before you finish, I just want to finish off with this. Like I said, the guys needed to guess what's the toughest holes.
Oh, yes.
So, hole number 12, which is a par 3.
Really?
Stroke average of 3.35.
Wow. Tough hole. Is it an island green? Yeah. I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure. It's like...
They've got bunkers all over the place.
Yeah, and then hole 11 is the second toughest hole on the course.
Wow. Well, that's how we will end off today's edition
Yeah.
of the Golf Show, and hopefully we see you next week, and we look forward to see who is going to win tomorrow at Benoni Country Club. Good luck to all the players. Thank you for watching once again, the guys in the chat line. It's an absolute pleasure being in your company on a Wednesday evening. That's it. We're going to say goodbye, and we will see you soon.
Cheers, guys.